Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Before I actually get into it, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscription link below. I'm at 193. I'm looking to get to 200 by this weekend, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And for those of you that are already subscribed, I definitely appreciate it. And if you're in the Facebook group, more kudos to you, because I have been releasing a bunch of tips every single day, taking video ideas. I'm just kind of releasing content out there for you guys. But again, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And again, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button below. I really appreciate it. But with that said, today I'm actually going to be talking about some tips and tricks that you guys can implement if you're kind of new to phone flipping, or you haven't really heard about it, or even if you're a mediocre or like advanced flipper. These tips might help you. Maybe something that you haven't learned before, but these tips are basically targeted towards those that aren't really in the industry yet or just starting out. So with that said, let's get into the video. So the first tip I recommend for all beginners, again, do your research, watch like videos like mine, other people on YouTube. There's not too many of us out there in terms of actually like showing how to phone flip, at least in regards to not having to pay for a course or something like that. For me, I'm just releasing this as free content. I don't have any intention, at least in the short term, to release a course until I learn more about it. But the first tip I have for you guys is to focus on smaller flips. What I mean by smaller flips is going to buy like an older generation iPhone, because obviously they're going to cost a lot less. If you haven't watched my video before, I actually try to implement the $60 strategy, where you're going to go out and buy like an iPhone 6. Nothing wrong with it. It can either be 16, 32, or 64 gigabyte. Preferably not Sprint, any other carrier. Go buy it for 60 bucks if you can, and then go and sell it for 120. And then from that 120, you're going to buy maybe like a 6 plus, maybe bad IMEI, and then go sell it for 200. Stuff like that. You just have to grow it exponentially. But the reason I tell you guys that is there's not really that much pressure with 60 bucks. Yeah, 60 bucks might be a lot to you, but once you start getting in this industry, you're going to be taking out a couple $1,000s at a time simply to be buying some phones. And that's honestly my case where I'm at right now. So 60 bucks at the beginning seems scary to me, but that's pretty much as little risk as you can take in this industry in terms of phone flipping. But there's really not that much pressure, and obviously there's less risk with that. If something goes wrong with the phone, you can maybe lose 10, 20 bucks on it, something that's pretty irrelevant. Another tip for you guys is simply just, if you're not comfortable selling a phone and you don't really know much about it, you're trying to get comfortable with like the checklist of things you need to check for when meeting someone to buy a phone, go sell stuff in your house. Go practice using those local platforms like OfferUp, LetGo, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Go sell some of this stuff. Sell 10 to 15 items you don't really use around your house. Just kind of get comfortable with meeting random people, using the app. And then once you get comfortable with that, go on and go buy an iPhone 6. And obviously, if you're willing, like for me, I ended up buying an iPhone 7 Plus. It was the first phone I ever bought. It ended up being a bad ESN, so I bought it for like $180. So it wasn't that too much risk. But the second point is meet at a carrier store for your first time. Yeah, you can meet at, like for me, I don't personally meet at a carrier store every time since I've just gotten good at what I need to look for. But for the first time, I recommend go meet at a carrier store of the actual phone you're buying. So let's say if it's like an iPhone 6 64 gigabyte AT&T, you want to go meet at an AT&T store, whatever carrier it may be, just so there's less risk of any sketchy things happening, and just so that they can check the IMEI. And yes, they'll go through the checklist that I recommend. I think it's called the iPhone Buyer Checklist video. You definitely still do those things, but just do them in the carrier store. There's less risk there, and you're probably just going to feel a lot more comfortable there. You're not really by yourself. You're surrounded by people working at their store, and obviously they have a bunch of knowledge if you have any questions. The third point is actually try reselling on your local marketplace first. Still to this day, even though I'm like a mediocre reseller of iPhones, I don't really sell too much to make a full income out of it, but I still list everything that I get, mostly like unlike maybe not like cracked phones or stuff like that, but I list them on the local marketplace first before I try selling on eBay. The point of this is really just trying to get comfortable again with meeting random people, learning to meet with a buyer and seller. You're getting both sides of the transaction. You want to know from the buyer standpoint and the seller point. So if you're going out and buying a phone, then go resell it on your local marketplace, and then you're going to have that experience of actually selling the phone. because you do want to have that experience being comfortable in both situations. Another point is you want to get that bill of sale. Again, if you don't have that bill of sale, you can just shoot a comment down below. I'll email that to you guys. Just leave your email down below and I'll shoot you an email with that bill of sale. I'm not going to charge anything for it, but it's the one that I actually use personally, and a bunch of you have already asked for it, and I've sent over emails and I've got a lot of good feedback on it. And another reason why I say sell on the local marketplace is you're getting your money faster. If you're going to sell on eBay, yes, you should start doing a couple phones. One, there's a limit in the beginning if you haven't already started selling on eBay, but you're getting your money faster because you're just selling on the local marketplace. It's fast cash. Whereas if you sell on eBay, and especially if you're a beginner seller on there, you're going to have to wait for PayPal to hold your money, and that could be up to 21 days. So without that money, you're pretty much kind of out of luck with buying other phones unless you're comfortable taking out more money, which you shouldn't be scared on if you watch these videos and you do everything I tell you to do. But you're really going to get stuck with that money with PayPal holding your actual cash. You're not able to go out and buy more phones, therefore not making any profit, and you're kind of stuck. So yeah, go build like $1,000 to $2,000 with phones on your local marketplace. Then you're going to have some extra cash so you can go sell phones on eBay. You can take that holding period time without worrying about having enough capital on you to buy other phones. So now if you're actually established yourself and you're going to sell on the eBay platform, the first phone I recommend you guys actually try to sell is a bad ESN phone. Making sure, like, yeah, it could be cracked, whatever it may be, but sell a bad ESN phone. Why I say that is simply because with selling bad ESN phones, it's already like a bad phone. There's nothing that can go wrong on the other side unless you didn't catch something like camera was blurred or something like that, or iCloud locked devices. They're pretty already. People that are buying them are probably going to be taking them apart or shipping them overseas anyway. So there's not much that can go wrong. And with that said, you're probably not going to get a return from that. So when I started out selling on eBay, I actually implemented this strategy where I only was selling like pretty bad phones, like with bad ESN, they were financed, whatever it may be. And with that said, I never really had any returns because those people that were buying them already knew that. There were probably advanced people in the phone industry. People that go out and look for bad ESN phones are specifically going out there. Nobody that's just looking to buy a phone is going to go buy a bad ESN phone. They're simply just going to go buy a regular phone. So people that are searching for bad ESN on eBay are purposefully doing that, and they're probably advanced sellers on eBay themselves, so they know exactly what they're getting into. Therefore, you're probably not going to get a return as long as you did that checklist that I recommend in some of my videos. The next point is actually to collect SIM cards. And if you're not in my phone flipping Facebook group, that's actually a tip I gave a couple days ago. But once you start getting established in the industry, you want to have a bunch of different carrier SIM cards. And because if you're not familiar with kind of how you will meet with somebody to check a phone, you want to have a SIM card of the phone you're buying in terms of the actual carrier of that phone, because you want to put in that SIM card to make sure if it's already factory reset that there's no iCloud and stuff like that on the phone, because that's the only way you can do it, is to put in the SIM card that is the actual carrier of the phone. So for me, I have like a T-Mobile, I have a Cricket, I have AT&T, Sprint. I have everyone kind of out there now in terms of the different carriers. It's just one of those things you just kind of get lucky with. If somebody leaves a SIM card in their phone, I'll keep it. If they want to take it back, I'm not going to say, oh, can I have it? I'll give them back. And yeah, you might lose some here and there because they're such small little things, but collect them over time. It will help you with buying phones. And therefore, once you get into more of a mediocre / advanced level, you won't need to meet at carrier stores anymore because you can check all that stuff with SIM cards that you already have, and you won't need SIM cards at the actual carrier store to check it. So the last point for all you beginners out there is to really focus on getting reviews. And the only way you can do that, yes, you can do that on the eBay platform. You definitely want to have good customer service on there, but you want to build a reputation in your town, because obviously you're going to be buying a lot of phones, and most of you are only going to be buying phones like myself in my local town and the surrounding area. So you want to establish yourself as a good buyer. You want to be trustful, and you want to build up your review base, like on apps like OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. There isn't really reviews on these apps. You have a 5-star scale where basically anytime you sell something or buy something, you leave a review for one another. And for me, at this point, every time I leave a meeting, I always ask somebody if they can fill out that review. I would really appreciate it because it just builds credibility. So again, you just want to establish yourself in your community. That's how you start to get referrals from people that you don't even talk to, just friends of people that sold you phones and you sold phones to. So with that said, you don't really want to be scamming people because it will bite you in the butt later on. Because sometimes people know people. I've seen it happen by other resellers in my town. It just gets in a sticky situation. So build up your reputation through those reviews. It will help you in the long run because this industry isn't going anywhere. If you want to get into it, I guarantee you're probably going to stay in it, or at least a flipping mindset for the rest of your life, because it does add a lot of skills to your kind of arsenal of what you know in life. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Again, I'm trying to get to 200 subs this weekend, so hit that subscribe button. It's a little red button below. It costs nothing for you guys. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.